My name is Megan Vickers. I'm a physiotherapist and Pilates instructor, and I specialise in anti and postnatal rehabilitation. And this is my Pilates for Pregnancy programme. This video is month 5 of our series, so huge congratulations on being halfway or nearly halfway through your pregnancy. From 16 weeks, it's recommended that we no longer lie on our back, so you won't find any of those exercises in this series and subsequent videos from there on. There are plenty of positions for us to work hard. So I hope you enjoy the exercises. We're going to start in standing today, so with your feet hip width apart, we're just going to start to get some movement into our spines. So think about floating out of your pelvis. So often we can be quite slumped through our shoulders and through our ribs. Think about just lifting your baby up out of your pelvis, lift your rib cage off your tummy and smile through your collarbones. Let your head float off your shoulders. And then with your left shoulder, you're going to circle it up towards your ear. Squeeze it back and down, slide down to the left, roll into the centre and curl up, restacking your vertebrae on top of one another. And then the right hand side, big shrug, exaggerate that movement, slide down to the right, into the centre and curl up. Head floats out. One more, adding in the opposite arm. So we're going to come up, back, down, and the opposite arm comes up. So you just create some space for yourself in your rib cage. Breathe in, breathe out into the middle, breathe in, roll up. Opposite side, so we circle, squeeze, back, down. Opposite hand comes up, stretch through your waist. Come into the centre and curl all the way up. Again, lift baby out of pelvis, ribs off your tummy, smile for your collarbones and head floats off your shoulders. Arms up in front of you. With your right arm, we're going to reach it forwards. Imagine I'm pulling your fingertips. Reach it behind you. Look at your hand as you stretch. Circle your hand down and to the front. The opposite side. Reach, stretch, get some space underneath your ribs. Allow your body to move. Don't try and hold yourself too rigid. Create that space. Now down, up, and over. And the last time. Down, and over. Now a little stretch through our legs before we start. So we're going to come nice and wide on our mat. And we're just going to sink down. So you want your knees to go backwards. Make sure your knees don't roll in. Keep your knees backwards. And your pelvis should be in neutral. Weight right in between your two legs. Come onto your left elbow and reach your right arm up to the sky. Palm to the ceiling, palm to the floor. Every out breath, stretch it a little bit further. One more time. And then to the centre. And the opposite way, coming onto your elbow, reach over. Once more. And into the middle before you come back up. Okay, we're going to start with our warm-up routine. So a little bit of setting of our centre before we do a real thigh burner bottom workout. So feet start hip width apart. And I want you to again create that length in your spine, your head floats off your shoulders. Wrap your hands just under your baby bump. And I want you to think about your pelvic floor contraction. As you breathe out, think about your pelvic floor coming together, all four corners, left and right, front to back. Gather your pelvic floor together like you're stopping yourself from breaking wind or having a wee. And then imagine lifting up through the pelvic outlet. Feel baby move up and in towards your spine. And then relax. That's a really good contraction of pelvic floor and transverse abdominis, our deep core muscles, which will keep us supported through our back and pelvis throughout our pregnancy. The other way to set that is to imagine your muscles hugging your baby. So imagine giving your baby a hug. Hug your baby and feel baby move up and in towards your back. We want to feel this sensation through pelvic floor and through tummy throughout the exercises that we do. And then relax. Now try and create that pelvic floor contraction or baby hug, whichever one works best for you, as you take your arms up. So set that contraction first, breathe out, arms up, breathe in, circle them down, squeeze your shoulder blades down. Either relax, reset, or keep that contraction on, out, in. Watch those ribs don't flare out of your body. Keep that length in your spine. And then we're going to add in a heel raise. Breathe out, breathe in. once you get the hang of that contraction, you'll feel that you can hold it on for several repetitions. And it's really important to build up that endurance in those groups of muscles. They're postural muscles, so they should be on all the time. But as our baby grows and our uterus and tummy grows, it's much harder for those muscles to work. So we need to keep them active all the way through our pregnancy. Last one. And relaxing down. Okay, now that was a relatively easy way of making those muscles work. Now it's much harder when they're on a bit of a stretch and when you've got other muscles working too. It's got about 4 minutes of continual work for your legs. Just see how you get on, break if you need to. So the most important thing is that you try and keep your body upright. Don't lean forward. Keep that tailbone slightly tucked so your tailbone's pointing down. So we've got 8 exercises, 30 seconds of each. So think about that length through your spine, that baby hug, that lift through the pelvic floor, and we're going to come into our plie squat. Down, lift up a little bit more for your pelvic floor as you stand. Down, and lift up. Down, and lift. Good. Breathe in on the way down, out on the way up. And the out breath helps that pelvic floor baby hug contraction. So your pelvic floor moves up, your diaphragm comes up too. Okay, now we're going to hold the next one, second exercise. Hold it here. Arms forwards, keep that baby hug. Press those arms back. Breathe out, squeeze them together. Breathe in, press back. Breathe out, squeeze together. Try and create a little bit more close to the pelvic floor. As your arms close, close and lift that pelvic floor. Baby moving up and in towards you. Last few seconds. Okay, now rising back up. Now with the left leg, heel. Left heel is up the whole time. So you're biasing the back of this left leg. Calf, hamstring, bottom, inner thigh, all working. Try and keep 50-50 weight in both legs. Spine stays upright, smile through the collarbones. Out breath, lift up. In breath, come down. Out breath up. Okay, now we're going to hold it down. Hold it down, calf raise, that left side only. The right will get a go in a second. Keep that left heel up and down, 30 seconds. The deeper you go, the harder this is. So if it gets challenging, just come up a little way and try it here. It's really good to get a little bit out of breath during our pregnancy. Because as our heart rate rises and as our diaphragm goes up and down with that extra breathing, so does our babies. So it's really good preparation for them. Okay, you ready? Right heel up and down. Keep that right heel lifted. Lift through that pelvic floor. Good. Keep it lifted on the way up. Out breath as you lift. Try and keep that 50-50 so you're not pushing yourself over the opposite side. Nearly ready for a hold. And we're going to hold. Hold it. Right heel up and down, wherever you can manage. Deep or higher up, wherever it works for you. Pelvis in neutral, try not to lean forwards. So tempting to just hinge forwards. Keep that work through your back. All of those muscles keeping nice and strong. Nearly there. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to come up with an arm raise. Come down, those arms come down. Breathe out, everything lifts. Breathe in and come down. Breathe out, pelvic floor close, lift, breathe out. Breathe in, lower it just a notch, not all the way. Lower that pelvic floor just a little bit. Everything through the middle line of your body is coming together as you come up. We're in our last minute. Okay, ready, last exercise. We're going to come down. We're going to hold it here. We're going to press our hands together to intensify that baby hug a little bit. We're just going to pulse our bottom up and down. Really make that bottom and thighs burn. Really give them a good workout. Pulsing up and down. Press your hands together. Breathe as much as you need to. Keep that chest open. Breathe deep into your lungs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. Really good. It's quite a tough, long, challenging series. Our muscles are really important if we work them over a long time. It really gives us that endurance on the little quick blasts. It's great for us. Okay, so now we're going to roll down into kneeling. You're going to need an elastic band, so a stretchy workout band for this. Or 2 hand weights work quite nicely too. So I've got a little TheraBand here. So in kneeling, I'm going to have my knees slightly apart for the first set. I'm going to press my heels together. The minute you do that, feel your bottom really engage. Your hips just come forwards a bit. And that's great for just creating a bit of space in your low tummy and also tipping your pelvis into a good position. Heels pressed, bottom comes on, knees are open, so giving that inner thigh a little bit of work. Lift baby out of pelvis, chest off of baby, smile through your collarbones. We're going to start with your palms up. Band across your palms or weight in each hand. On your out breath, think about baby hug, pelvic floor contraction, and pull your elbows in and your hands out. Breathe in and release. Breathe out, and open, and release. And again, with every breath out is every effortful movement. So getting that sequence, breathing out to do the exertion, breathing in to release. Use your out breath to just prepare your pelvic floor and deep tummy muscles. And that inhale to relax those muscles. Think about opening up those collarbones even more with this exercise. Those muscles which run from one shoulder blade to the other, they're tightening up, giving you a beautiful back, but giving you that open back posture. It's very common to have rounded shoulders with a newborn baby because there's lots of carrying, feeding, lifting, changing, which needs you to be in this position. So you want to prepare for that and keep you open for as long as possible, nice and strong. It's a great postnatal exercise too. Okay, 5 more before we change. Every time I pull and breathe out, I'm squeezing my heels together. So I'm giving it that extra bit of work through my bottom and hamstrings. Last one. Brilliant. Okay, now take your bands or weights and bring them up over your head. We're going to still work on your out breath and your heel squeeze and your pelvic floor lift. This time with a band pull just in front of your face and then release it. And do exactly the same thing with your 2 hand weights. Breathe out, you're working on your lats down your back, which cross your pelvis, and again give you that pelvic stability, preventing any pelvic girdle pain in this pregnancy. Breathe out, come down, breathe in, release. Breathe out, breathe in, release. Keep this going. This middle trimester is really common for the onset of pelvic girdle pain. And the most established way of preventing pelvic girdle pain and recovering from pelvic girdle pain is by strengthening the muscles to compensate for the changes in the ligaments that is natural during pregnancy. So the stronger we are, the less likely we are to suffer from pelvic girdle pain and the less debilitating it can be. Give me 5 more. 1. Last one. Brilliant. Okay, now out in front of you this time, the arms really feeling it. I'm going to bias alternate arms, both sides will still work. So this time on my out breath, I'm going to squeeze both heels, lift the pelvic floor, pull my right arm open. Breathe in and close. Left arm open. So my right arm's working hard to stay exactly where I want it. It's also really working my tummy muscles because I want to go with that band, but we're not going to let it. You're going to keep your trunk so strong, dead center. Just do the arms. Chest stays open, head lifted. Deep tummy pelvic floor contraction, collarbones open. Heel squeeze. Okay, that's 5 more each side. 4 more. Last one each side. And relax. Just roll those shoulders. We've got last little set of exercises to do. This time we're going to change the kneeling position. So take a rolled towel or a pillow or a ball, anything you've got, which if you put between your knees, It keeps your legs hip width apart. You don't want your knees coming really close together because that can just squeeze your pubic bone a little bit. You want to keep them hip width apart. So just something to squeeze. A water bottle can work quite nicely as well. The band comes around your back, or if you've got hand weights, just place them here at your side like this. This time when we squeeze, it's all going to be about the front of that pelvic floor and the tummy. So the ball squeezes, the inner thigh comes on, we feel it focus all around the centre here. Good for pelvic floor strengthening, really good for preventing that pubic symphysis pain at the front and keeping our tummy muscles together for as long as possible. Breathe out, squeeze, lift pelvic floor, reach your arms forwards, breathe in, come back. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Keep that baby hug. Exaggerate it or encourage it a little bit more each time. It's quite easy for those shoulders to follow your arms, so we don't want to end up here. We've got to keep those shoulders back like someone's holding your shoulder blades together. Imagine I've got my hands on your shoulders, I'm not letting them come forwards. Hopefully the arm's feeling this workout now. Last one. Okay, now we're going to take the band away for this last exercise in kneeling. If you're doing great with the band, keep that movement going, all the hand weights forwards. We really need you to get you moving your tailbone and your pelvis. So what we're going to do is stick our bottoms out behind us, lead with your chest, bottom sits down on towards your heels. And then as we come up, we reach forwards with our arms, we tuck, scoop under that tailbone, so everything that's coming in together, arms come up. And again, bottom goes back, tip that tailbone out, tuck that tailbone underneath you, and come in. Come out, and lift up, squeeze that pillow between your knees. Bottom goes out, bottom tucks in, pelvic floor lifts. Now try and get that pelvic floor release the pelvic floor, let it go, stretch it, stretch it, stretch it. Now from here, tailbone to pubic bone, left and right. Can you gather your pelvic floor together? Squeeze the pillow, rise up, release it as you stretch it back out. Squeeze and lift, relax it down. Let's do 4 more. Breathe out, gather, lift, stretch it down. If I'm going too quick for you, take your own time. Sit every other one out. Make sure you can really feel that lift, really feel that release. Let's do 1 more. And relax that down. Really good. Okay, now just come and sit on your mat for a moment. So just take the weight out of those knees and give your arms a little bit of a stretch. So I'm going to take, this is called mermaid sitting. So one foot out behind you, the other foot rested on your thigh. Quite a nice position for us to sit in because it just keeps that movement through our pelvis. And then we can just stretch over towards the foot that's out behind you. Reach and stretch. Create some stretch down the back of your arm, down your waist. And then into sitting, that arm just comes across your body, head comes over as well, so you just create that stretch down your neck and down the back of your arm. Imagine I'm pulling your hand across. And one more each. Reach up and over. And into the middle and across. Head comes down. Okay, let's spin our legs around. So feet go the opposite way. And the foot that's out behind you, place a hand down on that side and reach over. And across your body, head comes down to that side. So our next series of exercises are lying on our side. The really great thing about Pilates in pregnancy is that even though you're biasing one group of muscles, everything is working all the time. So you're strengthening your entire body, but you get a little bit distracted by one muscle really, really feeling the burn. So this one is going to really focus on our bottom, but your tummy, your upper body, your back will all be working too. Okay, once more each way. Okay, now I've still got my pillow handy, so I'm going to use it just for this first exercise, just to place underneath my head, but you don't need it, you can use your arms, and we will need it for one of the exercises that we're going to do later, so have something handy. Okay, so lying on our side, first of all, you can wrap your arm around that cushion, or without the cushion, you just place your arm underneath your shoulder. Okay, the first thing I want you to do is stretch your body out, create that length. And once you create that length, you automatically lift up your waist. That gets all of your tummy and back muscles working. So as you now bend your knees, don't let your waist come back into the mat. Keep that work through those muscles. Keep your waist lifted. Okay, this is how you work the entire body. All right, now on your out breath, baby hug, pelvic floor lift, float the top leg off of the bottom leg. Use the top hand, just encourage that hip to draw down. Breathe in, fold that leg up in front of you like you're going to take a step. Breathe out, press that leg back behind you like the toes are going to touch a wall behind you. Breathe in, come forwards. Breathe out, come back. Now imagining I'm videoing you from your waist up. I shouldn't be able to tell that you're moving your leg. So there's no sway going on in your body as you move that leg forwards and backwards. These muscles through the front of your body are taut and tight. The muscles through your back are matching that. So you're just so still through your trunk. Your neck and shoulders are relaxed. If they're not, you might just need to put your hand on the floor to give your body a little bit of support. If your hand's on your waist, you'll really feel all of your tummy and core muscles working to keep the stability on that bottom hip. It feels like you're balancing on a rocker ball. Okay, 5 to go. Press that leg back, breathe out. Breathe in, it comes forwards. Breathe out. Breathe in. And relax down. Now, legs are straight. We're going to repeat that movement. Waist stays lifted. Long through that top hip, the top leg comes forwards and it kicks, and then flex your ankle, draw it back. Point your toes, come forward, stay balanced on that bottom hip, try not to rock. Float forwards, squeeze that leg back. Float forwards, squeeze that leg back. Much harder, you'll see my movement is much smaller because I can feel my body wanting to rock, particularly as our baby grows bigger. The baby wants to pull you down onto the mat. You've got to work through your back, through your bottom, through your upper body to keep your body balanced on your bottom hip. Let's do 5 more if you can. Break when you need to. I'm sure we're feeling those bottoms after that first plie series we did. Let's do 2 more. And relax that down. Now we're going to take this cushion, so I'm going to replace that with my arm just to give my head a bit of support. And on the cushion, ball, pillow, towel, whatever you have handy, take your top leg. So you want to have quite a big cushion there because you don't want your knee to cross your body again. That just compresses your pubic bone a little bit too much. So you want to be up quite high. Now really balancing on that bottom hip, waist stays up. We're going to encourage the pelvic floor, close, lift that bottom leg. Breathe in, relax it down, release the leg. Breathe out, close and lift, squeeze that underneath the leg. Breathe in, release it down. Breathe out, feel the tummy work. Breathe in, relax it down. Really good for those quick fire pelvic floor contractions, so you can tie them in with this really easily. You can bias the front of your pelvic floor, imagine yourself stopping the flow of urine. The back of your pelvic floor, imagine yourself stopping breaking wind. Or the middle of your pelvic floor, like you're bringing the vaginal wall together. Relax it with every lower. Now if you're starting to get any pelvic girdle pain with this, then you don't lift the leg. Instead, place the towel between the legs and squeeze the legs together. Still work the same muscle groups, but it will have more of a symmetrical bias. what we call an isometric contraction, so a static contraction. And that's much easier to do with pain than a lift and a lower. Just want to do a hold. Okay, 5 more. Two, 1. And relax that down. Really good. Even you're working the inner and the outer thigh there. We're going to change on to the opposite side. So bring your cushion with you. Spin to the top side of your mat. And start with your pillow underneath your head. And stretch it out through your body. So really long, so you create that space at your waist, and then bend your knees so your whole trunk is working. Then that top leg floats off the bottom leg. Baby hug, bring the leg forwards. Breathe out, press it back. Breathe in, come forwards. Breathe out, press it back. And this exercise isn't about how far you can move the leg, but how still you can be. So if you're just here, it's tiny movements, but that's as far as you can go without really moving your whole body, then that's perfect for you. If you keep working on that, you'll find you can go further and further every time. Whereas if we allow our body to move, we don't learn to create that stability. So you just move as far as you can, being as still as you can. Remember, I'm filming you from your hip upwards, and there's no movement going on at all. Okay, 5 to go. And relax down. Now straighten those legs, lift that bottom hip up. And using that hand for support if you need to, the top leg floats, it kicks forwards, flex your ankle, it comes back. Use as much support as you need to just create that stability. And as you get better at doing that, you'll be able to take your hand up and just rest it on your hip. Even take it up towards the sky, just to add that challenge. If your hand is up there, try not to wave, try and keep it perfectly still. Forwards and back. In breath. Out back up, we're pressing that foot into a wall. Ready for the last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax down. Okay, now you're going to take that cushion and replace it with your arm, and your top leg comes onto that pillow, so you get that lift of your top leg. Okay, reach that bottom leg down. Every time you lift up that bottom leg, lift your pelvic floor. Your waist will want to collapse into the mat, but don't let it collapse into the mat. Keep your shoulder drawn down, lift the leg, breathe in and lower. Out, lift, in and lower. Again, see if you can match it with your quick fire pelvic floor. Bring the pelvic floor together and lift it as your leg comes up. Release it, let it go. Close, lift, release it, let it go. Bias the front, stop your flow of urine, lift, release it down, let it go. Now the back, stop yourself breaking wind, lift, lower, let it go. Now in the middle, gather your pelvic floor together and lift, lower, let it go. Try one more variation. Try back, middle, front. Back, middle, front, all together. Release, front, middle, back. Really hard. Try that again. Back, middle, front. Release, front, middle, back. Really good work. Okay, from here we're going to take this onto all fours. So a little bit of mobility, a little bit of whole body work at the same time. Really emphasising now just stretching out through your body. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Try and have a flat back position. Do like a little press up just to create some strength through the tummy and the arms. So just bend your elbows just a little bit if you need to. Now as you press away, I want you to lift your left hand and look at it. Might be here, might be all the way around there. Just see how you can go. And then bring it back down. Now the opposite side, bend your elbows, lift up, take your right hand open, and then come back down. Bend, lift and open, hand to the floor and down. Lift and open. So you use that effort of that press away, that energy, press and lift and rotate. So your whole body is working through that exercise. Lift and rotate. Let's try 4 more. Awesome work, really, really good. Just sit back, shake the hands out. Now we do a variation on thread the needle. So please don't do this if you have anterior pelvic pain, so any pain around your pubic symphysis, or if you've had pain there before in previous pregnancies. Keep your knees in this position. Don't open up like I'm going to open, okay? So hands here, so either keeping your legs still or take your left leg just out to the side, just to encourage more of a stretch through there. You're going to take your left hand and open up that whole side of your body. Now you're going to thread this arm underneath the right arm, so bend the elbow, stretch and reach. Just so far you feel that rotation through your back, your stretch through your inner thigh. Breathe in, open. Breathe out, rotate just enough to feel that stretch. 2 more, breathe in, open. Breathe out, twist. And again, breathe in, open. Breathe out, twist. Okay, now change it. So again, either leg stay here or the opposite leg comes out to the side. Then that hand comes up, you're in an open twist. And you're just going to close that down a little way, stretch underneath your arm, look across, breathe in and open. Breathe out and twist. Breathe in and open. Let's do 1 more. Brilliant. Now bring your hands underneath you, your knees open. What we're going to do is just stretch through your pelvic floor. So think about tipping your tailbone. Baby comes down towards the mat, tailbone to the sky. Push your hips up and back. Come onto your forearms and just feel that stretch across your seat, across your bottom. Try not to hold your pelvic floor here. Just connect with it and see, am I holding it a little bit tense? Am I pulling my tummy in? Breathe out, relax it down. You're not pushing it down. Letting it go, like you're holding something in your hands and you're laying it flat. Spread it out perfectly flat, no creases in that pelvic floor. 1 more time. Breathe in, think about that pelvic floor, imagine holding it in your hands. Breathe out, spread that pelvic floor down flat, stretch it out. Now we're going to roll back up into standing, so hands underneath you, knees come in. Open those knees up as you bring your hands back towards you and as your knees lift up, so you create that space for your baby. Good practice. And now just press through your legs. Allow your head and your arms just to hang for a moment. Let your blood pressure gather. Good. As we go from lying to standing, it's normal to feel a little bit dizzy, so take your time so that the effects of that are lessened. And I'm rolling up 1 vertebra at a time, restacking my vertebrae on top of one another. Mid-back, chest, open through the collarbones. And you guys are all done. Good work for this month. So I hope you've enjoyed these exercises, and I'll see you back here for month 6 of our pregnancy, when we'll be using the band and a ball or cushion again.